Your angel is gently guiding you to this moment. Take a quiet breath before you continue. There are moments in life that arrive softly, without noise, without force, yet they carry meaning far deeper than we first realize. This is one of those moments. You didn't find these words by chance, and you are not here because of coincidence. Something calm, loving, and intentional has guided you here, not to rush you, not to frighten you, but to remind you that you are seen, supported, and never alone on your journey. You may have been carrying questions that you don't always speak out loud. Thoughts that return when the world becomes quiet. Hopes you protect carefully because they matter to you. This message does not come to pressure you or demand anything from you. It comes to sit beside you, gently, and to remind you that even when progress feels slow, unseen help is still at work in ways you cannot always measure. Sometimes miracles don't arrive as loud events or sudden changes. Often, they begin as clarity, as reassurance, as a peaceful shift inside your heart. A reminder that what you are waiting for has not been forgotten. That your patience has meaning. That your steps, even the small ones, are being noticed and honored. If you have felt tired lately, this moment is not here to add weight. It is here to lighten you. If you have felt uncertain, it is not here to confuse you further, but to ground you. There is a quiet strength forming within you, and it grows when you allow yourself to pause, reflect, and trust rather than rush. You are not being asked to change everything at once. You are simply being invited to stay present for a little longer, to listen calmly, and to let peace settle where worry once lived. What unfolds next in your life will come with more clarity, not pressure, more understanding, not fear. As you remain here with this message, something subtle begins to happen beneath the surface of your thoughts. It is not dramatic, and it does not demand your attention loudly. It feels more like a gentle settling, as if the noise you've been carrying for a long time is slowly losing its grip. This is often how meaningful change begins, quietly, without announcement, without force, but with a sense of calm recognition that something important is unfolding. There are seasons in life when effort feels heavy and answers feel distant. During those times, many people assume they are doing something wrong, or that they have somehow fallen behind. But what is rarely spoken about is that some seasons are meant for alignment rather than action. Moments where nothing seems to rush forward because something deeper is being prepared within you first. This message arrives in such a season, not to push you, but to steady you. You may have noticed that lately you think more deeply than before. You reflect on conversations, decisions, and possibilities that once passed without much notice. This isn't weakness, and it isn't confusion. It is awareness growing quietly. When awareness grows, the heart becomes more sensitive to truth, to peace, and to direction. That sensitivity is not a burden, it is a sign of maturity forming inside you. Sometimes the miracle people wait for is not a sudden external change, but a shift in how they see themselves and their path. When perspective changes, life begins to respond differently. You start to recognize which thoughts deserve your energy and which ones can be gently released. You begin to feel less pressured to prove yourself and more confident in simply being present and consistent. This message does not promise instant transformation, because lasting peace is not built on urgency. It grows through understanding. Through moments like this, where you slow down just enough to reconnect with what truly matters to you. Where you remember that your journey has its own rhythm, and that comparing your pace to others only creates unnecessary weight. There is also something important to understand here. Support does not always appear as visible help or immediate outcomes. Often, it appears as protection from paths that are not meant for you, as delays that quietly save you from confusion later, or as inner strength that allows you to wait without losing hope. If you look back carefully, you may already see moments where things didn't work out exactly as planned, yet somehow, you were spared deeper trouble or regret. As this realization settles in, you may begin to feel less resistance toward the present moment. Not because everything is perfect, but because you recognize that growth is still happening, even when it feels invisible. This awareness allows peace to return gradually, replacing restlessness with patience and trust. The miracle connected to your life does not rush toward you, it aligns with you. And alignment takes honesty, reflection, and calm acceptance. That is why this message does not demand belief. It simply invites openness. An open heart does not need to have all the answers, it only needs to be willing to listen. Take a moment to notice your breathing as you read. Notice how your body responds when pressure is removed from expectation. That sense of ease is not accidental. It is a reminder that you are allowed to move forward without carrying unnecessary fear or urgency. What comes next in your life will come with clarity, not confusion. With stability, not chaos. And when it does, you will recognize it not by how fast it arrives, but by how naturally it fits into who you are becoming. Soft continuation cue, no pressure. Stay with this message a little longer. Let it continue to unfold naturally, without rushing to the end. As you continue with this message, it may feel as though time has slowed just enough for you to hear your own thoughts more clearly. Not the anxious ones that rush in during busy moments, but the quieter reflections that usually get buried under noise and responsibility. These are the thoughts that carry truth, the ones that surface only when the heart feels safe enough to speak honestly. There is a reason calm awareness feels unfamiliar at first. Many people live so long in survival mode that peace feels undeserved or temporary. But peace is not a reward you earn after everything is fixed. It is a foundation that allows healing and clarity to grow. This message arrives not to fix your life for you, but to remind you that you are allowed to feel steady even while things are still unfolding. You may notice that certain memories come to mind while reading this. Moments when you held on longer than you thought you could. Times when you chose patience even when frustration felt easier. These were not small moments. They shaped your inner strength in ways that results alone never could. Growth often happens quietly, without applause, and without immediate recognition. What many people call a miracle is often the moment they realize they are no longer the same person they were during their hardest seasons. They respond differently now. They pause before reacting. They listen more deeply. They trust their inner guidance a little more than before. If you are honest with yourself, you may already feel this shift taking place within you. There is also something deeply important unfolding here, a release from unnecessary self-blame. Not everything that felt delayed was denied. Not everything that ended was a failure. Some things simply completed their purpose in your life, even if the ending felt confusing at the time. Understanding this allows your heart to soften instead of harden. As this realization settles, a subtle confidence begins to replace doubt. Not the loud kind that demands attention, but the steady kind that doesn't need validation. This confidence grows from knowing that you can handle uncertainty without losing yourself. That you can wait without becoming bitter. That you can move forward without needing every answer first. Spiritual alignment does not arrive with constant signs or dramatic signals. It arrives with clarity, with discernment, and with an increased ability to choose peace over reaction. When you feel less pulled toward chaos and more drawn toward stillness, it is not because you are avoiding life. It is because you are learning how to live it wisely. You may also notice a shift in how you relate to others. Certain conversations no longer drain you the way they once did. Some expectations naturally fall away. You become more selective with where you place your energy, not out of fear, but out of self-respect. This is not isolation, it is alignment. What is coming into your life does not need force or constant anticipation. It will arrive through natural connection, through timing that feels right rather than rushed. When it does, it will bring a sense of familiarity, as if it belongs there. You will recognize it by the peace it brings, not by the excitement it demands. This part of your journey is about integration. Allowing what you have learned through struggle to become wisdom rather than weight. Letting past experiences inform you, not define you. Choosing to trust that growth continues even in moments of quiet. Stay present with this feeling. Not because something will disappear if you don't, but because presence allows understanding to deepen. And understanding creates lasting change. There is no need to hurry forward. What is meant for you is already aligning, step by step, in ways you may not yet see, but will eventually recognize with gratitude. Gentle continuation cue. Remain open and reflective. The message is still unfolding, and clarity grows with patience. As this message reaches its final phase, allow yourself to slow down even more. There is no urgency here. No rush to understand everything at once. What matters now is presence. The kind of presence where you are not trying to fix the future or revisit the past, but simply allowing insight to settle naturally into your awareness. Many people believe that transformation happens in loud moments, but the truth is that the deepest changes happen quietly. They happen when you finally stop fighting yourself. When you stop demanding immediate clarity. When you accept that not knowing everything right now does not mean you are lost. It simply means you are still becoming. You have carried more responsibility than most people realize. Not just external duties, but emotional weight. Expectations. Unspoken worries. Silent prayers. Yet somehow, you continued. Even on days when motivation was low, something inside you kept moving forward. That inner persistence was never accidental. It was guidance working through you, not around you. At this stage, something important is shifting, your relationship with trust. You are learning that trust is not blind faith. It is a quiet confidence that even if things unfold differently than expected, you will remain grounded. That confidence does not remove challenges, but it removes fear's control over your decisions. You may notice that you no longer feel the same attachment to outcomes. This does not mean you care less. It means you are learning to care without losing your peace. You understand now that forcing timing only creates resistance, while patience allows alignment to reveal itself naturally. What is meant for you will not require constant chasing. It will meet you where you are, when you are ready to receive it without fear. And readiness does not mean perfection. It means emotional openness. It means being willing to receive without suspicion, and to give without depletion. Your inner world is becoming more stable, and that stability changes how life responds to you. Opportunities feel calmer. Connections feel more intentional. Even challenges feel more manageable because you are no longer facing them with panic, but with perspective. This is where gratitude quietly replaces anxiety. Not because everything is ideal, but because you recognize how far you have come. Gratitude grounds you in the present, and the present is where clarity lives. There is also healing happening at a level you may not consciously notice yet. Old emotional patterns are loosening. Reactions that once felt automatic are now optional. You pause more. You reflect more. And in that pause, wisdom emerges. As this message comes together, understand this clearly: nothing meaningful in your life has been wasted. Every delay refined you. Every disappointment strengthened discernment. Every quiet season prepared you for stability rather than chaos. The miracle you are experiencing is not sudden luck. It is alignment. It is the moment when inner clarity meets external opportunity. And alignment happens when you are no longer fighting yourself, but walking with understanding. Hold this awareness gently. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to prove it. Just live from it. And now, as this message completes its purpose, allow it to rest within you rather than rush past it. If this message brought calm, clarity, or quiet reassurance into your heart, take a moment to pause and reflect before moving on. Let what resonated stay with you, and continue forward with patience and trust, knowing that alignment unfolds step by step.